Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your host, your boy, your one and only Galaxy, and I'm signing in to another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe, amazing interviews with celebrities, daily recaps and reviews of popular television, The Walking Dead, Z Nation, Van Helsing, DC Titans, Flash, The Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, American Horror Story, The Green Arrow, movie reviews, everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go. Welcome again, welcome. Thank you for joining me for another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio, where together we enjoy our universe, the fandom universe, the entertainment universe, the Avengers and DC, Marvel, FX, as I say, Walking Dead universe, the CW universe, along with the sci-fi universe. We have amazing episodes to come. Today's episode, we're covering The Flash. That's right. It's our weekly dose of The Flash. You know, we've had a couple amazing episodes in the past. I hope you love those. And I hope they went well for you, because they went beautifully for me. I love them. They went really well. Tons of feedback, tons of calls. A lot of you left voicemails. Thank you so much. Love you guys for that. Love you for the support. You guys are wonderful. It's been amazing. It's been a really fun time, having these episodes going. You know, it's I believe this is our almost 20th episode. Yeah, wow, we're there together. 20th so far for this special series, right? The Comic-Con Radio series. Now, if you want to be basically part of the show, just go ahead and message us. That's at Comic-Con, at Comic-Con on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's comiccon-radio.com on our website. You can send us an email, or you can call us toll-free, 1-800-976-0305. I'm your host, Galaxy. Thank you so much. I am Galactic, and I am here to go. So with The Flash, right? A lot of cool things been going on. His daughter Nora from the future, 20 years in the future, is back. Not back, but is sticking around. You know, he decided to keep her. Last episode, we went through that. You know, it's been pretty cool. And let me clarify one thing. Let me clarify one thing. Earlier, I just said past two episodes of Flash. Actually, this is the second episode of Flash. I was thinking of Black Lightning because they're on the same day. You know, you can catch The Flash and Black Lightning on Tuesdays on the CW. So this is the second episode of The Flash. So it's season 5, episode 2, and it's called Blocked. You've been blocked. So is there a word that you could put with the word blocked? Right? Can you? Is there a word? So this blocked or blocked that. Think of 5 words right now with the word blocked. Naughty or nice, however you want to do it. Go ahead and do it. Think of it right now. I'll give you a second. Ready? Go. Okay, done. Now, so many amazing things to cover today. Lots of cool stuff going on. Also, ladies and germs, you got to understand that some of these episodes, they're not going to be a full hour long. So some of my episodes covering some of these amazing TV series or movies or stuff might be 40 minutes long. Might be a little bit less. Might be a little more. I had to clear my throat. That's a signature Galaxy throat clearing system right there. And that's for you, the fans, because some of the fans actually write. They're like, oh, we love how you clear your throat. It's so cute. I actually clear my throat. It's not scripted, ladies and germs. So let's go over some stuff. So everybody knows The Flash is Grant Gustin, right? I just want to name that, right? Grant Gustin, the actor. Barry Allen is The Flash. Candace Patton is Iris West or Iris West Allen, right? Danielle Panabaker is Caitlin Snow or Killer Frost. Carlos Valdez is Cisco Ramon or Vibe, right? Tom Cavanaugh, Dr. Harry Wells or Harrison, Jesse L. Martin as Joe West, or that's Joe West. Keenan Lonsdale is Wally West or Kid Flash. Danielle Nicolette is the honey to Joe West, her character Cecile Horton. Now she has an ability too; she can read minds. Wouldn't that be so hard living with your wife or girlfriend, and she could read your mind? Oh my God, I would get into so much trouble. I wouldn't know what to think. I'd be like, don't think, because sometimes I think of naughty things and I look at her and she'll already know what I'm thinking. Or sometimes I think of really bad things and then she'll look at me and know already what I'm doing. Like, that's the most dangerous gift. I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you, so bad for you, Joe. Joe, I feel bad for you, buddy, because you can't have your mind for yourself. She's constantly, using her power. Now, she tries to, diffuse the powers or stuff like that. And you saw in episode 2, she lost her powers for a little bit because she couldn't hear her baby. And then she can hear her baby. So her thing is she wants to be the best parent in the world by hearing the baby's needs. Now, come on. Many people out in this world have had babies, right? We're billions strong, and we've been having babies for millions of years here. And, we're doing good. We don't have to have like a mental telepathy to know that the baby's hungry or wants this or that, but she really wants that power. I think she wants the power because she wants to be like, Joe, you're going to poop now? Or Joe, you want to do some yucky, hanky-panky? But, it's weird. You see Joe, too. He's like living in the living room. He's sleeping, at Star Base over there. And, he's just like lounging and wherever because he's like, I got to run away from that. No, just kidding. He just needs to get some rest. So her powers are kind of cool for her. I would love to have mind reading powers. I would love it. I would love it. Because I could read what people are thinking. And I'd be like, I would know so much. I would like to win the lottery. Have you guys noticed the lottery's so big right now? OMG, right? I was just thinking about mind reading. I wish I could read the mind of the computer that's picking the lottery numbers. It's at $1.6 billion. My God, $1.6 billion at this moment right now. I bought a whole bunch of lottery tickets. I wish I can win. I always pray, please God, let me win. I actually saw an episode of The Daredevil recently. And, the Daredevil, it's season 3. And, he's alive, right? And in the beginning, he's inside of a church. And he's kind of like going against God, which is a no-no. But, these shows have to go like that. Daredevil's an old character. It's at least 50 years old. So back then, a lot of the superhero characters, were partners with some kind of priest because they were from some gritty neighborhood, in New York or wherever, and, or Gotham, and they were, friends with some priest or stuff like that. So they always had that battle of good or evil, so in their mind, they were very religious and then they would battle against it. But anyways, he was listening, and everybody that he was listening into, because he has that the sixth sense. He has Cecile's powers too, but he's a daredevil. He was hearing people, and people were saying, "Please God," and everybody started with "Please God." And when he said that, I was like, "I start with that. Is that bad? I hope it's not. I always start with "Please God, help me," and I always ask God for help. But the lottery's amazing. It's stupendous. $1.6 billion. Guys, if I win the lottery, first of all, I'm going to let you guys know, okay? I'm going to say, hey, I won the lottery. It's amazing. Let's do this. Let's do it up. I will go ahead and do some amazing contests if I win the lottery. I will give away at least $20 million of those winnings right here on Comic-Con Radio. I promise you that. And our studios are going to grow larger and bigger than life. Oh my God. You would notice that I won the lottery because I would not hide. I will not hide. I will go ahead and share it with all the fans out there. Not give everybody money like saying, here you go, but I'll do some amazing contests and share it that way. So that way you guys get to share it with me and we earn it together and you guys win it just like how I did. I'm already talking like I won it. I wish I won. But we'll find out on Tuesday, $1.6 billion. All right, let's go into the characters. Hartley Sawyer is Ralph Dibny, right? Elongated man. And then Patrick Sabangui. Is that how you say it? Sabangu? Patrick Sabangu? Patrick Sabangu, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But I'm always wondering what nationality he is. He's Captain David Singh. He's playing Singh, maybe Indian descent on the TV show. But the last name, I'm not familiar. I haven't looked it up. I'll look it up. Maybe next episode I'll bring it up. But sorry if I pronounce it wrong, Patrick. And my favorite, Jessica Parker Kennedy. She plays Nora West Allen or XS. Now, I mentioned in the last Flash episode that I did, XS is not his daughter. XS is his great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter. So for them to call his daughter XS, it's different from the comics. It's really cool. Like I said in all these episodes and all these shows, you cannot make the comic book be the Bible for the television series. You cannot do that. You know, you have new producers, you have new writers, you have new showrunners, you have creators that, of course, understand the comics, read them, but you cannot Biblize these TV shows based on these comic books because the comic books are awesome. It got us hooked. It took us where it had to take us, right? Now it's time for television to go from there. In the future, God knows what kind of technology it's going to be, but right now it's television. And you can't really use the comic books as a Bible. You cannot, because you're going to know exactly what's going to happen step by step. And that's not fun. That's not fun at all because it's great. Yes, your favorite characters are on. The premise is similar. The character names might be similar, but it's good to add these varieties because it's just good all the way around. It's just great all the way around. And, it's fun. It's fun. So Violet Bean, it's Jessie Wells or Jessie Quick. I don't know if she's going to be in on this season. I know, but I can't share too many things. I like to do each episode based on the episode that I watch with you guys. I don't want to go too far ahead. I might watch 2-3 episodes ahead. I got some hookups, but I don't want to go too far ahead. I don't want to ruin it for you guys. She is the love interest and also the daughter of Dr. Wells but love interest. Sorry, not the love interest of Dr. Wells. No, she is Dr. Wells' daughter, but she's a love interest of Wally West. And they're not going out right now because she's from another Earth. And he's on another Earth. Isn't that cool? When that theory that I kind of like learned years ago about, different Earths running simultaneously as ours. Do you believe that, guys out there? If you believe that there's different Earths running simultaneously, now I know get your head out of the DC and Marvel universe and all the comic books and all this fun. I know we do all this to get out of the crazy parts of life. If it wasn't for all these things, we wouldn't have an escape. I get it. But let's think about it. Is there really parallel universes coinciding and different Earths, right? Because even in the Arrowverse, right? In the Arrowverse, it's the Flash, it's the Green Arrow, the Legends of Tomorrow, soon to be Batwoman, right? Coming out, and also Supergirl, but they're on different Earths, right? Supergirl's on a different Earth. I believe Batwoman will be on a separate Earth. She's going to be played by Ruby Rose. I mentioned it in the last episode of The Flash. And also in another episode of, I believe in the DC Titans episode we covered just last week. So, yeah, and we got some cool episodes coming up, guys and gals. We have episode 2 of DC Titans, which is great. Love that show. So cool. And we have Z Nation and Van Helsing. We have you just probably listened to the season premiere of the Arrow that I just did. I hope that you like it. It was very neat. And also Black Lightning, we're actually releasing the second episode for that either this evening or tomorrow. So check that out. But coming up this Monday is the season premiere of Legends of Tomorrow, or The Legends of Tomorrow, which is a cool show. And if you guys haven't heard of that show, if you're listening to me and you haven't heard of The Legends of Tomorrow, that means that I made you into a Legends of Tomorrow fan, number one. Also means that you're probably living in Iraq. Or you just stumbled on my shows. Thank you. And, the whole thing of Legends of Tomorrow is basically characters from all these different Arrowverse shows teamed up to battle the bad people all across the universe. Right? It's like that island of misfit toys where they're all hodgepodge together. But I love the characters. I love the show. There's some great characters, some meaningful people there, which is kind of great. And it's very cool. It's extremely cool. So, The Flash has had a multitude of characters on its show. But these are some cool ones. And now another character that's going to be on this entire season, right? Entire season is Chris Klein. Yes, Chris Klein is on this whole season 5, and he's going by a Cicada. Now, Cicada, he's a little aggressive, right? He's aggressive. He has that lightning bulb. Now, I thought the lightning bulb would take away the powers of any meta around him and actually diffuses their power temporarily. It doesn't suck it in. It showed in episode 2 that when he threw that lightning bulb into the ground, it sucked the Flash's powers and it sucked in what's his name's Ralph's powers and Vibe's powers and Schneib's and Zibba Boom Boom's powers. It sucked in all their powers and it blocked them. They couldn't do nothing. But the episode was really, really different. It started off, a little bit cool, and it went cooler, and it went cooler and cooler and cooler. But let me start recapping. I haven't recapped yet. You've just been listening to me mumble and schmumble the whole time. Anyways, the episode starts off with it shows Cicada, and it shows this meta named Vanessa, right? She is robbing one of her old criminal associates. There's these two brothers, they're criminals, and she's robbing them. One of them is not there, the other one's there. She was hoping to trap both of them, but she couldn't. They're arms dealers, or they sell specialized weapons or something like that. And you see her powers. Now it's cool. What I love about Flash is that there's so many situations going on. It's the baby situation in one part with Joe and Cecile. And there's another situation with Nora, which is the main thing that's going on. Then it's Cicada. Then it's this Vanessa meta thing going on. So they're dealing with, also at the same time, Cisco is going through, withdrawals from breaking up with, his chick, right? Right? You know who this girl is? Gypsy. Him and Gypsy, it's affecting him because he can't even... also, Caitlin Snow's problems, right? She got problems because... they get the documents and, about her basically the birth certificate and all that stuff. And the one that Ralph, finds because he's a private investigator. And you have to understand that Vibe or Cisco can't vibe the info because every time he's trying to vibe, he gets mental blocked because he keeps thinking about Gypsy. Because Gypsy is blocking his mentality, and that is not good, right? So basically, the beginning, it starts with Vanessa. She the guy's there with the gun. She boxes him in this like clear cube looking thing. And then she's crushing him. She crushes him smaller and smaller and smaller until he turns into like this little square, like meatball or meatloaf type of looking thing. But it's like, it's the guy's body all squished into a little cube, which is kind of sad, right? Yeah, it is really sad. You know, in the part when Barry goes to the crime, and I'm not laughing, sorry about that, but it's, it's some of this is humor, right? You can't really do that. Only in the world of the Flash and the Arrowverse. Okay, so in the part when Barry's there at the crime scene and they're looking at that body and Barry tries to like I think pick it up. That thing weighs the same weight as the human. So it's not like she melted the guy down and he became this little meatloaf thing. She basically crushed him down. So he's basically the same 180 pounds, but in a little box that's like, 6x6. That's kind of crazy, right? It's kind of crazy and creepy and all those things. So when Barry's there at the crime scene, he met Iris and Nora there. And basically, Iris is there trying to get, questions answered from, Singh. But Nora shows up to help Daddy. And Singh is like, who's this? Well, he knows who it is, but he's like, why is she here? And he's like, oh, I just, brought her out. She's an intern and I need her. I think at that point, he doesn't know who she is yet. Of course, they're not going to say this is my daughter from the future. But yeah, he's like, I hired an intern and she's here to help out. And he's like, oh, well, you know what? Go and make it official and blah, blah, blah. And then she goes and touches the scene, right? And basically, Barry's like, what the hell are you doing? You're going to contaminate. She's like, oh, you didn't put out the contamination jigga-dingle-dingle? Look at this. 25 years ahead of now, we're probably going to have flying cars. There'll be Teslas that we fly. That'll remotely come out of the garage. I saw the coolest thing the other day. My neighbor, he was outside of his garage. He pressed the switch. His Tesla drove out of the garage, rode up to him when he's like 40 feet away, opened the door. He sat in, closed the door, and he drove. And he still didn't have his hands on the steering. I was like, you lucky mofo, shakala mo. I wish I could do that. I want a Tesla. Tesla, give me a Tesla. I want it. And I'll talk about you every day. I'm just kidding. Anyways, it was the coolest thing. So imagine 20, 25 years from now what they're going to have. Already in Dubai, if you go there, they have like drone cabs that you can take a cab that's like a big drone and it fits one person and it could take you from place to place. They're testing those already. So imagine in 20 years what's going to happen, right? Also, another thing, Gridlock is finito. He's dead. Cicada ended his, his negative life here on Earth. And, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So basically, the good thing about Nora, she is a CSI in the future. So she understands it. It's just maybe different because of the technology and the things and the gadgets they use. But it's cool, right? Because Singh trusts Barry so much that he's like, hey, make it official. Go bring her in, do the paperwork. So we know where that's being headed, right? She's going to be a CSI with Barry on the show. And Jessica is such a great actress. I love her in the Black Sails. She's a great addition to Flash. I hope she stays for several seasons because Flash ain't going nowhere, ladies and germs. Everybody loves the Flash. It's staying at least a few more seasons. I hope all these CW Arrowverse shows reach their 10th birthday. And I always tell you guys this. I love the CW DC shows. They're amazing. They're filmed excellent. The stories are great. The action is amazing. The actors and actresses are amazing. It just everything about it I love. And that's why I do it so energetically because I love it. It's a great part of our week. And there's a bunch of their shows now. The CW is highly successful now with these shows, and they're doing well. And why not? If you're a good chef, why not keep going strong? If you're a good restaurateur, why not open more restaurants, right? So if you're a channel making great superhero shows, picking the right characters, why not keep going? Go on and go on forever. Live forever, my dear. So, they're trying to help Cisco at this point, like get out of this like mood, because every time he's trying to vibe the document, he can't, right? He can't. And it's Ralph's like duty. He's like, I'm going to make it my duty to help you. My whole duty to help you. And Cisco's like, all right, I'll see. Yeah, sure. Because every time he tries to vibe something, he vibes Gypsy. He focuses on his breakup. I don't know if Gypsy's going to come back on this season or what's going on or stuff like that. But, Caitlin needs help. Caitlin needs help. And there's some things going on, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. And have you noticed how Nora keeps trying to impress her dad? But you know what I'm noticing? Nora knows Barry as the Flash because, she gets information from the Flash Museum and the archives, right? But I don't think she knows Barry the Man. I don't think she knows Barry the Man because I don't think the museum had the info. Because you notice in episode 1 and some parts of episode 2 that they kept certain things out. Like Barry going to jail, they kept it out of the museum. All sorts of different situations, they kept it out of the museum. So God only knows what's in those archives. And she's reviewing those archives like there is no tomorrow, right? She looks up to her father. First of all, little girls look up to their daddies so much, even though if their daddies are not. Their daddies are already superheroes to them. But now imagine the Flash is the superhero, and he's the main superhero for that city. And he's missing. So you're growing up, your dad's missing, right? And he's the Flash. He's an amazing superhero. They have a museum with an archive. Aren't you going to look up to him like, oh my God? I think that's why she looks up to him so much. And she's always trying to impress him. And I think as she's trying to impress him, she goofs up a lot, right? She stumbles on things. She tries to over push herself. She tries to overly do things. But I think it's just not working out. It's just not working out. Come on, Nora. You got to know who your daddy is. And she's going to know him this whole season. And Barry's not a bad guy. I'm not saying that to say he's a bad guy or anything like that. But, we're all human. Yes, you're the Flash. You have all these superpowers. But at the end of the day, you're human. You're just a dude that goes through the same dude problems, and the same dude life with a little bit of superpowers, which I wish I had superpowers. I do. I wish I had superpowers. How many of you out there wish they had superpowers? Can you write me? Go to comiccon-radio.com. Write me, please. Go to social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's at Comic-Con Radio. Please let me know if you wish you were a superhero. And if you do wish you were a superhero, what kind of superhero would you want to be? Right? What kind of superhero would you want to be? And what kind of powers would you want to have? Please write me, let me know, or give me a call, toll free, 1-800-976-0305. Let me know in a voicemail. Be like, hey, Galaxy, I want to be this, I want to be that. Let me know. Let's make this fun. And then the next Flash episode, I'll go ahead and announce all the next cool superheroes, ideas, and all sorts of stuff. Right? So it's basically, something cool to think about. It'll give you a little assignment to do. If you're driving, really think about it. Really, 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 really think about it. And then let me know once you're in a safe place. But if you're sitting at work or somewhere else listening to this, write it down. Tell me what's up. Tell me what's up. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, ladies? Did you like that? Now, you know that big building is Star Labs. Isn't it kind of crazy? It's just like smack dab in the middle of the city, right? It's like just there. It's like a huge, gigantic stadium. And these guys are probably in one little portion. Imagine how big Star Labs actually is, the inside of it. It looks like the size of a big, like a football or baseball stadium. So imagine how many rooms they got inside, all sorts of crazy hiding places and special suites and all that kind of stuff. So you kind of see what's up. But yeah, let's go back to talking about the show, which we have here. So, Caitlin is kind of a little fed up. She doesn't want to know, what's going on because he can't vibe it. And isn't that part funny when they take him to get him dressed, Cisco, and they have him try on all this wardrobe, and then he takes him to the barber and he's like, don't you touch my hair. And he does his hair the way it is, and then he's wearing that suit. He looks cool, right? He looks different, right? When you see this, you can imagine how these actors look as non-character, right? They wear suits in normal life and all that stuff. Because I know during the show, we imagine them as the character. We know them as the character. We go to Comic-Con, right? Hint, Comic-Con. We go to Comic-Con events and we look at them as the character. But in actuality, the people themselves, who are they, right? So that's the thing. That's the same thing with Nora, right? She knows Flash, the character, the superhero, the man, the myth, the legend. But does she know Barry Allen, her father? And the same thing with us. We know these characters inside out. We know their habits. We've watched every episode. But do we know the people behind the character, who they are, what's up with them? It's kind of cool, right? It adds a whole depth to it because you get to understand. And some of these people play these characters really well. To be honest with you, I sometimes feel like they're the real thing, right? Because I close my eyes and I imagine it. And I have to do that because I have to have an imagination that's out of this world to do a show like this. Because I want to have that imagination for you guys, right? I want to have that imagination and make sure everything goes well. And it just has to be that way. It has to. And also that scene in the house when Barry, goes to Joe and asks him, this is happening and that's happening. And, about Nora, he goes to Joe and he's like, she's doing this, she's doing that. What's going on? And he says it out loud. It's okay. She's trying to impress you. He lectured him because that's his father, right? He took him in at a young age and he's been his father and his role model. So the way that Barry looks at Joe, Nora looks at Barry like 100 times more, right? Because he's the Flash. But Joe talks some sense. And Cecile hears it, right? Cecile hears it. And she's like, oh, wow. I get it. Because that lecture was kind of cool because I even listened to it. I was like, oh, I get it now. And she listens. And right when Barry heads out, she like jumps on Joe with her little self. She's a tiny lady, right? She's so tiny. And Joe's a tall dude. So, when they do those camera scenes, have you noticed they're like either sitting or he's sitting and she's standing, or there's some kind of situation. She's up on a flight of stairs or something like that because they got to get the good scene. And she jumps on his lap and she starts kissing him and she's like, thank you. And he's like, okay, great. I love it. Have you also noticed that Joe looks a little older this season, right? He's grayed out a little more. Is that done intentionally? Intentionally? Did I just say intentionally? I know Jesse L. Martin ain't that old. He's not that old. Well, middle-aged, but not that old. But he's rocking the gray. He looks like a grandpa in some of the scenes here in this season. Is that done intentionally? I don't know. Let me know. I know the answer, but I'm just trying to say this for you guys to like get along with this show and understand and things like that. And another thing, that part when, Cicada finally runs into the Flash and he throws his lightning bolt on the ground, and he takes away he basically kryptonites their power, and he comes there and he's about to like kill them, and then Nora just shows up, and Cicada looks at her and goes away. I think Nora and Cicada have a history. I think there's more to this story than meets the eye, right? I think so. I think there's a whole bunch more. Does Nora know who Cicada is? Do they have a history? Is there something going on? And just to get back at Caitlin, in that vision, finally Cisco vibes, and she sees her mother in the vision. In her father's death certificate, she vibes her mom. So what's really going on? What's really, really, really going on? Because we need to get all these answers, ladies and gentlemen. We need to know. And going back to Cicada, when he saw Nora, he didn't even try to drain her power. He just retreated. He just looked at her and left. Does he like her? Does he love her? Does he have a history with her? And where does this guy Cicada come from? You know? Where did John Cicada? No, I'm just kidding. Where did Cicada come from? Is it another Earth? Is he from this Earth? Is he from God knows where? Where did he come from? We got to find this out, ladies and gentlemen. We got to watch The Flash. The only way we're going to find out where Cicada's from, what's up with Caitlin's dad's death certificate, will Cisco get his vibish powers back? Well, he has his powers, but will he not be mentally cocky blocked by Gypsy's thoughts every second? Right? Will we know? Will we know? Will Cecile get her powers fully back because she wants it badly? And will Ralph start showing his powers more? He's just a PI on the show right now. He just talks and he's a private investigator and he just does that stuff. I want to see more of his stuff in action. Him, transforming into other characters and, doing his elastic stuff and things like that. And is Dr. Wells coming back? Is Harrison coming back? Is he going to be there this season? Because he's a big part of the show. I know he is, but when? And also Iris Allen West. I feel bad for her because Nora is new to her as well. You know, what happens 20, 25 years from now? They're going to have that situation happening. But now is now. And when now is happening and Nora just gives her the cold shoulder all the time and just like avoids chatting with her and doesn't really care to build anything with her, it's kind of hurtful. Iris is a really cool person. And it shows how much she loves her daughter. She really feels that that's her daughter. I know she's her daughter, and I know it's her daughter. Like, don't think wrong, right? Don't make me think any other way, or you don't think any other way. Barry knows it's her daughter, it's his daughter, but Barry still is like, okay, this and that. He's a little like, pushed back. He's still a little stiff and stuff like that. But Iris is really digging that that's her daughter. She loves it. She's all into it. And she's trying. And have you noticed Iris is showing her skills? Like, she's really developing this season. Like, she's more of like a kick butt reporter. She's in it in everybody's face, like learning everything. She's sharp. She's really sharp this season. I love what she's developing into. And I really love how her character is so supportive of Nora. Like, every time Barry's like feeling a certain way and she's like, no, blah, 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 do this, do that. Like, she's cool. She's like that person that you want in your life to support you. She's amazing. And it's a lovely season so far. Just the characters are going really well. Everything's going amazing. I love that Nora showed up. This evil Cicada, not only that Nora shows up and all this crazy stuff goes on, it puts it in Barry's mind that he's going to be disappearing for 20 years and God knows where he's going to go. But this evil guy, Cicada, shows up, right? Every season they have this evil guy they got to battle the whole entire season. Last season, it was freaking the brainy dude in the floating chair. The season before that, it was, some other dude and some other dude and some other dude, right? It's just every season they're going through some shiznit and they have to battle it. But I love how they do it together. They're one big family. They do everything together. They support each other. They understand each other. And that's how we should all be, ladies and gentlemen. These shows are not just for entertainment, okay? To me, at least. To a lot of people in the world, they're just entertainment. They're another superhero show that's on television, whatever. People think that. No, not to me, ladies and gentlemen. To me, it's an amazing show that stands for something. It's teaching lessons every episode. It's showing family unity. It's showing how to help the world. It's showing how to show love. It shows problem solving. It takes your mind off the day-to-day stress that we have, right? We have so much stress. We have work. We have the traffic, right? Going to work, coming home from work, all that traffic and gridlock, the stress of life, the stress of bills, the stress of everything. Job's good, job's not good. Life is good, life's not good. But at least we have our universe, right? We have our universe and we have each other. And these television shows are highly entertaining, but also at the same time, it takes your mind away. And at the same time as it takes your mind away, it teaches you different things. It shows you that even though you have superpowers, you still have family problems and you still have issues and you still have to solve them. Because no matter how powerful you are or how much superpowers you have, you're still going to deal with day-to-day life stuff and day-to-day life situations. And you have to know how to move around from that and how to create positivity. And that's what these shows do. Ultra care, ultra life lessons, and extreme positivity. And you can overcome anything. And it's also fun to watch. And it's also great to see. And it's also lovely. I love it. And like I said, I'm a fan first. And I sound like a fan a lot of the times because I am. I'm a fan of these shows. I'm not just talking about these series and shows and movies because I have to do it. No, I do it because I want to do it and I love it. I'm blessed. I could pick any television series I can talk about, right? I could pick any one. And the ones I think I've picked, the fans love it. You guys reach out, you show your support, and you're happy. Now, like I always say in every episode, if there's a television series you want me to cover, let me know. If we can fit it into our schedule, we'll fit it in and we'll start covering it. No matter if it's in its first episode, no matter if it's coming out in a month or two, no matter if it's in its fifth or sixth episode, we can go ahead and see what we can do to fit it in. If we get a lot of people wanting a particular one, and we'll vote it in and we'll make a episode for it. And then we'll follow it weekly like we do with all these other shows. Please check out the next episodes coming up. Like I said, we have Black Lightning. That's already out probably while you're listening to this. Z Nation, Van Helsing, DC Titans. American Horror Story is another one, but we cover that every 3 episodes. So every 3 episodes, we launch or we release one of our episodes covering that. We want to do American Horror Story weekly, but our schedule is so tight. So every 3 episodes, we decided to come out with one. So we released one already, right? You guys heard that one. It covered episodes 1 through 3. And then now we're going to release one and the next day or two, it's going to cover episodes 4, 5, and 6 before 7 comes out. Cool, right? And we're going to do that sometimes with some of the shows. Sometimes we might do that with the current shows that we're covering weekly. We might just get 2 of the episodes and cover them at the same time if it makes sense, if the story plots are really connected. I know all these shows are connected from beginning to end of the season. Don't get me wrong. But if we see that the 2 episodes have to be put together, we'll do that. Especially coming up in December, it's the big crossover again, right? And that's when Batwoman is going to be introduced. Batwoman is going to be introduced in the big December crossover with Supergirl, Arrow, and The Flash. And I'm hoping the Legends of Tomorrow is on that crossover as well. I don't know. They might not. But, they have a spaceship and they can go zippity-doo-dah in and out of everybody's universe because they're lucky. And they could just go anywhere they want, anytime they want. Wouldn't that be cool to have a spaceship that you could go back in time, forward in time, just do whatever? Right? Well, that's, I think, it for Flash for today. I mentioned a bunch of things just to think about. I think it was a great episode. It's called Blocked. And I think the reason why it's called Blocked is because he blocked their powers. And also maybe that cube looked like a block that Vanessa would put everybody in, right? He hamburglared the first bad guy that was one of her criminal, business partners. And then he tried to do it to Barry. And then, Barry got himself out of it. So maybe that's why it's called Blocked. Or maybe it's called Blocked because the block of meat from that guy in the beginning of the episode that Vanessa crushed, that looked like a square block. But I think it's because of Cicada's powers. He blocks other people's powers, right? He's a blocker. And remember what I said earlier in the episode? If you could think of 5 words to start with block or end with block, send it to me. Call toll-free 1-800-976-0305, social media at Comic-Con Radio, or comiccon-radio.com. Check out all our other episodes. I hope you guys like this episode. Thank you so much. And coming up next Tuesday is another wonderful episode of Flash. It will be Season 5, Episode 3, along with Season 2 and Episode 3 of Black Lightning. This Monday coming up is, of course, Arrow Season 7, Episode 2. And it's the season premiere of The Legends of Tomorrow this Monday. So please don't miss out. Watch that. It's going to be amazing. And that's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. We have such varieties of shows we cover. And also, we're going to have some great celebrity interviews coming up. We're going to release them here and there. So don't think that we're not going to do that. Okay? We're going to release some great celebrity interviews coming up. We're going to keep doing the recaps and reviews of the shows. And when Comic-Con season comes in full effect, we're going to be covering a ton of those. Right now, there's not a lot going on. There's some smaller events, but we usually are at the larger events, and we're going to try to cover some more medium-sized and smaller events. And like I said in the past, if you have a Comic-Con event or any kind of pop culture event or store opening or anything like that, and you want us to be there, please contact us. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Let us know, and if we could fit it in our schedule and we can come out, and we will come out. And if not, we will at least talk about it, put a shout out, put it in our blog and all that, because we support all Comic-Cons, not just the main big daddy ones or the big mama ones, which I'm talking about. And you guys are probably like, well, that's one's this one, that one. There's so many right now. But, I'm talking about San Diego Comic-Con, which is, and the New York City Comic-Con. So those, of course, we cover. And we're going to be covering it heavy duty this year, especially with this new Comic-Con Radio podcast series that started. We're going to, cover those events really, really hardcore, leading up to it, during it. And we got a bunch of surprises coming up in the next episodes to come. So stay tuned for that. There's just so much going on. My book is going to be coming out. I'm going to be releasing the name of it in the next 4 or 5 episodes. I know I promised you episodes ago that I would release the name of it and when it's going to be hitting the stores, but I want to keep it a surprise, and it has to come out at the right time. And also our new t-shirt designs and a whole bunch of other stuff is going to be coming out soon. So keep listening. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for supporting Comic-Con Radio. We're here for you always and forever. And that's comiccon-radio.com. This is Galaxy. And what am I doing? I'm signing out. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is your host, Galaxy, signing out from another episode of Comic-Con Radio. I love you guys, and let's be in the universe together. Mwah! Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Comic-Con Radio. You can call us toll-free right now. 800-976-0305. 800-976-0305. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.